skimming off the top of my head, wasn't it a 5-year, like 265 or something like that? I didn't see if it was guaranteed, but it's just this, the fact of the matter is when it comes time to pay a quarterback, if he is even in the top 15, or in, I think what Jordan Love's case would be potential top 10, if he's playing the way he should be, and if he's really playing the way we know he can, he's a potential top 5, top 7 quarterback. There you go. I mean, that's just the type of money that you're going to get when it comes to eventually got to pay that piper, right, Emilio?
Hey, it always comes around, Jacob. I mean, I know you got to deal with it. So, but it's crazy that Mr. Irrelevant's getting those kind of funds.
Yeah, and it's why like Ron Wolf always had a rule that you take a swing on quarterback every single year in the draft. Doesn't matter what round, you just commit to we're drafting at least one quarterback. Right. Because if you're willing to draft one in the first 7, in the 7 rounds of the draft, you probably got a pretty decent grade on them. You probably think they have a good opportunity to play at the next level. Maybe not starting as a superstar out of the gate, maybe be a developmental quarterback in the 6th or 7th round like Brock Purdy, but this is why you do that. And again, Kyle Shanahan comes from that West Coast offense tree from his dad. All that was embedded within the organizational aspect that Ron Wolf kind of came up through. Quarterback is that valuable. That's why we said in this year's draft, I'm not going to be surprised if they take a quarterback if the board falls just right, because it's that valuable. And here in this case, if they had not taken Brock Purdy, whether you think he's worth the money or not, if they had not drafted Brock Purdy, look at what happened with Trey Lance. He was supposed to be the golden goose, and it was a bust. Now they've got what they believe is their franchise quarterback because they took a swing on the very last pick of the draft. It's why we say, Emilio, every single year there's 2 drafts. There's a quarterback draft and there's the NFL draft.
Yep.
This is why people take the constant quarterback for sure.
That's why they traded back into the first round to pick up Jackson Dart, right? Get him on a 5th-year option. You have quarterback of you think the future, and you kind of go from there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else on that, Jacob? We good there, Bubba?
No, I just think real quick, it's not quite the same topic, but how valuable now do you think Malik Willis is to this franchise? And are we willing to – I've asked the question many times, but when do we decide if we're going to try to lock him down to be like a consistent at least 2 to 3 year backup? And what would you feel comfortable paying him? Because you look at that type of money, Malik's got to start thinking, hey, if I get a chance and a team starts calling, or do I play it safe? And you know what I mean? Actually get some guaranteed money for the next few years. What would your thoughts be on that?
Yeah, if you're asking me what I would do, the number I'm coming up with is, $3 to $5 million per. He's not going to sign that without hitting free agency, and he may go, and the market might not be there for him, right? But I will say this: if we go off precedent, whether it's Brian Gutekunst or Ted Thompson, to the best of my knowledge, neither of those general managers, Emilio, have ever paid more than a minimum contract for a backup quarterback. Think, when did they extend a backup quarterback? When did they sign a backup quarterback in free agency that has had a significant amount of money? And by significant, I don't even mean 10 million plus. I mean like 3 to 5 million, right? It seems like their whole goal is stick with it, try to draft one every year, every other year, and mold them into something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think you just try to get talent in there. If it works for your team, perfect. If not, you got to go and move on to the next one. I think that's kind of what happened last year. Michael Pratt brought this whole stream down because of him, and he had to go because of it. No way we're going to sit around letting Michael Pratt be here and we just get demonetized. Okay, so I think that's why you go out and get the Canadian. You bring him in, see how it goes, see what happens. And then if it doesn't happen with him this year, all right, perfect. We move on to the next one. In the background, you still have Sean Clifford. But, yeah, Malik is really the question mark. Is it going to be Malik and Rashid that are on their way out and we get comp picks for them? Or is it going to be something that, hey, we want to pay maybe one of them? I don't think we pay both of them. But it's definitely a question we have to consider. But all that money's on Jordan Love right now. That's where our focus is.